Assalamu alaikum, grade 10 computer science students. We will start with lesson number 15. In this lesson, we will be discussing some questions from CIE past papers. Let's start. So this is a question from October-November 2018, paper 1. Many programmers write computer programs in high-level languages. The program need to be translated into machine code to be read by the computer. As you know that high-level language means you write the program in English language. This is not computer language, so computer will not understand it. In order for the computer to understand, you need a translator program. There are two types of translators that can be used. Translator 1, translator 2. You have to only write the name. Okay, part B. Explain two reasons why a computer programmer may choose to write a program in a high-level language rather than a low-level language. Why you need to write the program in a high-level language? You have to give two reasons. So for each reason you have 2 marks. Let's see the answers. So the two types of translators are compiler and interpreter. Two types of translators are compiler and interpreter. You do not need any explanation, any definition. You need to write only the name of the translator. Now for the other part, that is part B, why you need to write the program in high-level language. You can write 4 from this. You have 4 marks for this, so any 2 are enough. Okay, closer to human language or English. So if it is closer to human language, it is easier or quicker to read and write. It is easier or quicker to debug the program, therefore less likely to make errors. So this is justification. You have to write a reason. It's closer to human language, so it's easier to read and write. It's easier to find the errors. Debug means to remove the errors. So, and there will be less errors. This is one. The other one is the program can be used on many different platforms. Means you can use you can write the program on one computer and you can use it on many computers. Yeah, because it's written in the source code and because it's compiled into an object code. Now when you compile it into object code, then you can run it on many computers. They have built-in functions or libraries. You will understand it better when we will be doing the programming language. So it means there are built-in functions. For example, you want to add something, so for addition is already there some function available, or to find square root, so you do not need to do it again. Do not need to manipulate memory addresses directly. You do not need to know how the data is stored inside the computer. The language will deal it by itself. Only need to learn a single language, as this is used in many different computers. So you do not need to learn different programming language for different computers. The same language can be used on different computers. Right. So you can write any 4 from it, and this will give you 4 marks. Let's discuss another question. October-November 2018, paper 1. Okay, 3 examples of computer code are given in the table. So you have to take which one is high-level language code, which one is assembly language, and which one is machine code. Okay, let me take the marker so that I can solve it for you. Right, look here. com- computer code. This is the code, and which one is high level language, assembly language, or machine code? So this one is only in zeros and ones, so this is machine code, right? For axis, this is a code in a high level language. As I told you, we'll be doing a programming language. Most possibly we will be doing Python, and you will learn it better. And this is the code from the assembly language. So very easy to get 3 marks here, and you have only to take for this type of questions you can use elimination method. Now what is elimination method? It means that the answer you know the best, you take it first. You are 100% sure about this one, okay, and then you are, for example, sure about this one. So when you choose the first two, the last one is easier to solve. Okay, this is another question. Describe the purpose of an interrupt in a computer system. We have discussed what is an interrupt. Interrupt means you receive a signal from the hardware or the software. When the computer receives an interrupt, the computer will stop its working and deal with this interrupt. If this interrupt has higher priority than what the computer was doing, then it will stop working and execute the interrupt. But if this interrupt is not very important, then the computer will finish the job it has started, and then it will execute the interrupt. Let's see the possible answer. So you can write any 4 points for this question, and what are they? Look here. Used to attend certain tasks or issues, right? Used to make sure that vital tasks are dealt with immediately. The interrupt signal tells the CPU processor that attention is required. A signal that can be sent from a device to the computer. Any device can send a signal to the processor. A signal can be sent by the software, so it may be a hardware or software interrupt. The interrupt will cause the operating system process to stop. The operating system will stop or pause the process, and the operating system CPU or interrupt CPU's routine will service the handle the interrupt. So the interrupt is dealt by the interrupt handler, and there are different levels of priority. After the interrupt is serviced, the previous process is continued. When it is dealt with the interrupt, then computer will start its work. It enables multitasking to be carried out on computer. If you want to do, you are using Microsoft Word, but then you are still working in Microsoft Word, but you are opening an email as well, so you can work on the same thing. A valid example of an interrupt, for example, out of paper message. If your printer is out of pages or the ink finished, so you get an error message on the screen, and this is because of the interrupt. Okay, home task. Translators such as a compiler and interpreter are used when writing and running computer programs. Describe how a compiler and interpreter translates computer program. How? So when it's written how, you means you have to write the method in detail. Describe means you need to write in detail. For 6 marks, 3 marks for each, and you have to write in detail. So this is your home task. Write it on a piece of paper, take a picture and send it to me. This concludes our lesson today, and if you have any question, send it on my WhatsApp. Thank you.